Marvin Divine. I'm saying bye to all the lies and all the times you cried, saying that I wasn't right, yet I was right by your side. You manipulator, playing games, your friends commentators, and I don't know what you say about our private conversations, but it's got them hating. Thanks to all the rumors you be claiming. It's cool, I'm done with you, so they can throw you a celebration. You gon' hate it when you see me with somebody living better. I'm trying to tell you that me just doing me gon' have you jealous.
Hey folks, welcome back. The program is Chris live in central Pennsylvania, and my special guest today on this interview for South Africans who relocated, resettled in the United States as refugees is the Smith family. And guys, I got to say this before I went on air and after we agreed to do the interview, a little birdie told me you guys like to share. So I think we're going to have a very informative conversation today. So we have the Smiths in sunny San Diego, which if you say that 99.9% of the time, that's a true statement. San Diego tends to get a lot of sunshine. So welcome to the program, and can you guys introduce yourselves?
Yeah, thank you, Chris. So I'm Daniel Smith, father of the four, and next to me is Moshe, my wife, and others are still sleeping, but this is Zayli, one of our adopted kids, biological brother and sister. She's the youngest.
So, as you said, the other kids are sleeping right now. You don't want to run a risk of getting them up, and
No,
they're running around.
Don't poke a bear. Don't poke a bear.
Now, I'm going to struggle with her name, so my apologies. Is it Zayli or Zayli? How'd you say it?
Zayli, like daily, Zayli.
Zayli. That makes it very easy for memory then. So I'll just write that down phonetically so I can get it. I know you sent it to me, but I didn't dare risk getting it wrong. Zayli, how's it going? Look at her. Oh, hey, how you doing there, sweetheart? Hello. Hello, Zayli. That's sweet. So how old is Zayli, Daniel?
She's turning 2 in April.
Wow, my goodness. So guys, you got in the program. You've come to the States now. So Marcia, let me ask you this question. When did you first hear about the program?
So there was this little Santa Claus sitting in a wimpy somewhere in South Africa. And then I was like, wow, Santa Claus is bringing us this news. Who's this Santa Claus? So we heard it from your channel.
Wow. So you didn't hear about it until May? That was the first time you heard about it when I did the...
didn't you do it in February? Because we applied in February.
Okay. You did see me sooner, but I'm saying you then when the statement of interest, that's what you're remembering. Yeah, that was the same.
Yes.
That was the 12th of May. I did that that morning when they were still hadn't quite landed. And they hadn't landed yet. They were still in the air when that came out. But the program was posted on the USMC website. So that's, yeah. And the Wimpy that's kind of an epic event. That wasn't easy. I was trying to enjoy I'm not a big fan of Wimpy, but I do like the breakfast, and I was trying to enjoy it. And I'm sitting there, and people kept recognizing me when I'm trying to eat, so I couldn't eat my meal. Then I got this message from my saying, hey, they put it on the embassy website. So I went there, I read it real quick. And then, of course, the Wi-Fi is not great at OR Tambo at times. And so I'm trying to upload the video. And I'm like, come on, I got to go through security. Let's get this thing uploaded. And so I think I did 2 or 3 videos. But yeah, so you guys found out about it from my channel, and you did the PRM email. Did you wind up also doing a statement of interest later on, or no?
Both, yes.
Okay. So when was the first time that you heard from anybody?
On 14 August.
Okay, so February... March, April, May, June, July, August. 6 months later. Wow, that's quite a haul there. Did you have concerns that maybe nothing was happening?
A lot. So that was with Amerikaners with Sam. We got contacted by them the first time. So they also sent something on, and then we sent our emails. And then at that time, everybody was like, "This is a scam. This is not real." So I'm like, "Well, I'm gonna. If it's a scam, and they choose me, I'm excited. I will. Thank God." Yeah. So I sent my email, and then I think after I sent, like a day after, they contacted us.
So a lot of people are telling you it's a scam. They're still telling people that stuff it's a scam now, despite the fact that over 2,000 South Africans have arrived.
And we are here because of them. They contacted us first. Yes.
Well, that's pretty amazing. So, all right. So you've got I guess we could say, well, it's not a blended family. Maybe it's a blended family. I don't know, but you've got 4 kids, but 3 of them are with you, and you've got another child who's, I believe, an adult.
She's an adult. Unfortunately, she's an adult. Otherwise, she would have been here. I would have forced her.
All right, so she's presumably back in South Africa or something like that. So I mean, if you want to talk about that later on, we can. But let's focus on the San Diego experience, which is wow. Talk about rocky up an interesting place. San Diego is definitely great weather. It's a Mediterranean climate, and there's lots of opportunities there. And it's long been considered a wonderful place to live. I haven't been to San Diego in a few years, but I have been to San Francisco and LA recently, and they're not so great. But San Diego is still a decent place, I believe. How are you finding the experience so far, Daniel?
Yeah, you look, the area that we are at the moment, it's not the best, definitely not. But circumstances, where we live, in the house itself, the flat is not too bad. And we know it's only temporary because from here we can move out. But otherwise, people are friendly. American people are, a lot friendly. But there's a lot of, they call it Afghan. I don't know what's the real, but people here, there's hundreds and thousands of refugees here. Difficult with them. But otherwise, it's all good. I mean, we're blessed. We are really blessed to be here.
So you've got two of your natural children, your own, and then you adopted two children. What prompted that? Why? I mean, let's go and investigate that. You adopted children. I mean, people have lots of reasons for adopting. Some people adopt children because they aren't able to conceive. Some people do it because they're just devout Christians and they want to take care of other folks. Some people do it because a tragedy befell someone that worked for them or that they knew, and they agreed to raise their kids. Do you mind sharing why you've adopted?
So with us, the first one is from a previous marriage. So Megan is a previous marriage.
So Marcia, we don't call that previous marriage. We call that a practice marriage. Okay.
Okay. A test run. That was a test run, and it didn't work. Yeah. So Boland met her when she was 3 years old. So he was that from the beginning, and then we struggled for 11 years, and then one day I just said, okay, so we tried everything. Now because I really wanted to have another baby. So let's go and let's adopt. So we had a meeting for the adoption and everything. And it was a day before we had to go. I said to him, because at that time IVF wasn't paid for by your medical aid. Now it can be paid. So I'm like, why don't we just do IVF? And at that stage we could do it. And he's like, okay, let's do it. And then we just said to the adoption agency to just postpone this. And so we went for IVF. And so then Zia was born. Our first embryo they put in, she was born. And then the other two they put in didn't make it. During that time I had a miscarriage. And so then that's how then I said, like, okay, so God blessed us with this baby. Let's just go on and adopt the baby as well, because we wanted to. And then we adopted because I wanted a girl, because I'm a girl mom. And and then this baby boy came, and I was like so in love, and I chose him. And then we changed everything because the room was ready. It was pink. The name would have been Avery Grace. So, and then we chose this baby, and then we came to America. We traveled here in 2023, and then we went back to South Africa. My social worker didn't have my number at that time, so she sent me a Facebook message that the Lucas biological mom is pregnant again. And I'm like, what? Why are you telling me this? And she's like, no, because you have to do cross-referencing. And I'm like, what is that? So at some points I will have to meet each other. And I'm like, okay, how will I let my boy meet his sibling? And I'm like, okay, this is your sibling. And we just let it go. And then I decided, like, I spoke to Boland and I said, and it was at that time, it was difficult moments in South Africa for us. And and then we just spoke, and then this amazing little girl arrived. So we didn't let her go. And thank God, because she's so precious. Well, the Lucas, well, all our children is, but this one, she's very special. Yeah.
I get that sense. She's, I don't know what she's up to there, but she's grabbing hold of Dad's chest and she's looking inside the shirt.
Always playing.
Yeah. So, okay. So DeLuca and Zaylee are biological siblings then. And, so since you've met the mother, then presumably you obviously know the ethnicity. Oh, you haven't. Okay. Sorry. But do you know the ethnicity of the kids? I mean, where they originate from?
So, if I'm corrected, according to their surname, everybody said they say Kosa.
Yeah, is it Kosa?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because their surname is Zenzangabom, And now people say because of them, it's Xhosa. So yeah,
Okay.
that we think that because of what they say. We say to black people their surname, then they say it's Xhosa, but we have no idea what they
Well,
it was a close adoption.
they talk Afrikaans, so
Yeah.
Obviously, because we don't talk. Can
Well,
we talk Xhosa?
Referenza knows Afrikaans. So I mean, it's not. It's interesting because about 800,000 or 900,000 Black South Africans, their first language is Afrikaans, and people don't know that. It's a true
Yeah.
story. Yeah, they are the I guess you'd say the third largest group of South Africans who speak ethnically. So you've got coloreds who are the largest group, then you've got Afrikaners, the second largest group, and then you've got Black South Africans. There are Indians too, but it's just a couple 100,000 of them that speak it as a first language. But it's fascinating. So let me ask this question: you adopted the kids. They're not that old yet. So did you? DeLuca's 3 and Zaylee's just under 2. Did you suffer any abuse for adopting black children? Because you saw the Stoltz family's interview. They had coffee thrown on them by white people and by black people. They were accosted in shopping centers. I mean, the behavior of people is just reprehensible. Did you suffer any of that?
I'm not going to say the name, but it is a holiday destination, a very popular one in South Africa. All the South Africans go there over December time. And that was my worst experience, not with Zaylee, but with DeLuca. How people will just talk in front of me, like, and I would just, because I don't keep quiet. And I'm like, excuse me, can I help you? And then I would just stop talking. And like, if I'm not hearing and I can hear. So in front of me, also in a wimpy, this lady was just going on talking to her husband. And I was like, can I help you? She stand up and she left. So that was, and I never wanted to go back because that was, it was terrible. Not nice.
No, it's absolutely amazing how disrespectful and rude people can be. Look, I can understand, especially in South Africa, an unusual circumstance of a white family with black children. It's unusual. It's not common. So I could get if somebody goes, if they look and they're kind of, I mean, it doesn't excuse it, but I mean, we all see things that are unusual. We kind of like, like a building burning, you're not just going to ignore it. You're going to pay attention. So I get that. But to have the cheek to talk about people in their presence or to say things, I mean, that's just disrespectful. I mean, a child needs love. A child needs to have a safe environment. And from the way that Zaylee's behaving, it looks like she's got a safe environment and love.
Yep, she's.
we're giving everything we can.
So I think she's adorable. That's pretty cool. Now, the Stoltz kids are a little bit older. I still think they're, in German, I don't know if you know any German, but we say goldish, which means golden. It's a great way to describe a child that's just lovely. So I think that Zaylee is goldish. She looks quite lovely there.
Say thank you. Say thank you.
Look at that. You're welcome, Zaylee. Thank you so much for that. Wow, I thought I put that on the gallery. I had to cough there. I didn't turn my mic off either, so I had a cough coming in. Well, guys, so you waited a bit. After that first contact, how long was it before things got moving?
So the only reason they didn't let us go straight away with the interviews, the telephonic interviews, is because DeLuca and Zaylee, so DeLuca had a name change and he had to do a new passport, and Zaylee didn't have a passport. So, but we did apply, and then Stellenbosch will add our passport for 2 weeks without telling us. And then, so they said we should rather wait, and then we waited. And 2 weeks later, on the 2nd of this September, they did our interview online. Yeah, and that's where they contact us again. And then we went for our interviews 22, 23, and 24 September.
So, Marcia, isn't it amazing? Those dates are seared in your memory, and you're going to remember those dates probably the rest of your life, aren't you?
Yeah.
It's amazing. All right, so when did you actually arrive, Daniel? When did you guys land in the States?
We came in. We flew out on the 14th. We flew New York, Denver, and then just as we wanted to land 10 minutes in San Diego, it was too cloudy and foggy, and we had to return to Los Angeles, slept over that night in Los Angeles, and then flew 20 minutes the next morning back to San Diego. So we arrived here on the 16th
of January.
Yeah, so we 4 weeks today.
So you started this in February of last year when you sent a PRM email, and here you are a year later. The reason I ask this is because so many people like, I'm being ignored, I've been forgotten. The U.S. government confirmed to me as of December 31st that not a single eligible person had been denied for this program. And I try to tell people to be patient, but it's hard to tell people that who are desperate to get out. I think you appreciate what I'm getting at here, that people are just impatient and they're not forgotten. You're one of those folks. I have a friend who was in the first 100 because, they interviewed 100 people. You put your PRM email, but they selected 100 of those people roughly. It might be like 104, but they selected 100, but only 59 came over. The other 30 or 49 weren't rejected. They just didn't come over that first batch. So, I think it's important for people to understand that this is a process that can take some time and that you should continue on with your life. And bear in mind that, like I've said many, many times, the Somalis living in a refugee camp in Kenya wait 12 to 15 years, 17 years sometimes. So, so it is kind of a fast process, although it doesn't seem like it. At any point in the process, Daniel, did you feel like, oh my gosh, is this going to happen? Because a lot of people feel that way.
Yeah, I think that's quite normal. It's like, it's like anything for us. Luckily we good believers. We trust in Almighty every day of our lives, and we pray as a family together. So yeah, it is difficult. It's for sure. It's difficult every day. Every day when you wake up, you look at your. Luckily, I didn't do it. I left my wife to do that. Follow the app, see where we are, see what we do. But it's daunting. It's really difficult. But you have to stick together. You made a decision to do it, so stick it through. Even if it takes a year. At the end of the day, you will never get this chance again. Never.
So, Marcy, I'm going to put you a little bit on the spot here now, and maybe it's unfair. You can tell me it's unfair, but I'll put you on the spot. Now, this is a practical question, okay? It's a practical question, and I want to see everybody in camera once, so let me get this view up here. Okay, so, there is a debate, and there's always arguments in the community, and I'm typically in American context, this comes down to a white father, but usually a white mother having a mixed race child, okay? And you always get these arguments with mixed race kids, particularly because their hair is a challenge. And white mothers have a hard time with their hair. Now, you have black children, and you have a child who's a girl whose hair needs attention. Was that a learning process for you because her hair is a bit different than yours? And a lot of you get. I've known white mothers who have mixed race kids, and they just get frustrated and annoyed with people who want to stick their nose in their business. Usually, it's black women that do it, but not exclusively. And it's my daughter. It's her hair. I'm taking care of it. But it can be a challenge because the texture of mixed race children's hair is very different than Anglos or very different than black folks. But I'm putting you in a spot. Has that been a learning process for you to deal with hair? Because it looks lovely right now. Someone's taking care of it. I don't know if you went to the salon or you did that yourself.
I appreciate that. That was me this morning quickly, because when she gets out of bed, it's crazy. So I've done it quickly this morning. It is difficult. I'm still learning. I haven't even conquered this, so I'm still learning. Their products, the Luca and Zayli's products for hair, they have the most products in this house for hair, so that is very expensive for us, for them. But it is very difficult. It's not easy. Thank God I had this lovely people in South Africa. So and I will welcome, if people want to come and teach me and tell me, I will take it, because it's difficult. It's not easy.
Well, the good news, honestly, in the age of social media is that, sometimes YouTube can be your friend. There's lots of videos from mixed race girls who talk about how to do their hair, or from black girls about challenges doing hair. So, you can always refer to that and get some help, but it's nice to see. But her hair looks lovely. She looks like she's getting a little bit tired there. She keeps turning in. She's like a little bear cub getting in the den there. All right, so what was the most challenging aspect of this, Marcy, from your perspective? Was it the wait? Was it the interview? I know some people, the interview is very difficult because they have to recount trauma that they've gone through, and it can be very challenging. But for many people, it's really just the interminable wait. Am I going to get called? Are we going to go? When are we going? Is it going to happen? Yeah. So what was the most challenging thing for the process from your perspective?
So for me, obviously, I don't know, in my house, I was the one preparing everything, because Daniel was working at that time. So he was busy. So I was getting everything ready. And in our case, the past persecution was on my side. Bolan had future persecution. So I was getting everything ready. And Bolan, so when we applied, he was the main applicant. And then when I got to this interviews, I was so ready because I had so many time preparing. I just go over it and then I wanted to speak from the heart, but there was key moments and stuff that I wanted to mention. And she's like, okay, now it's my turn. And I sit and she's like, okay, and your mother's name I'm like, what? What do you mean? Are we not going to talk about my persecution? She's like, no, I will speak to your husband. And I was like, but he will not tell it like me. You must hear it from me. And she's like, no. And then also the USCIS officer, she was also like, okay, now come sit. And she's asking again my mother's name. And I'm like, now can I talk about she's like, no, your husband said it beautifully. I'm like, but he can't like me. And she's like, well, we got it. And I'm like, okay, wow, great. So to be prepared and not tell your story, but he did a brilliant job because we are here. So and our past persecution it happened in 1998. So it is not recently, but to experience what we've experienced at that time with my dad being in that it happened it was involved in it, and the trauma from that went into my under my my conscious. It was just so I had this fear of every time going to a bathroom on my own. I like even in Spur, I'm not gonna go to Spur now, but my children will not go alone to a bathroom. I'm so scared of that. That was something that I didn't even know about. But starting with this process, it surfaced again. And you can even ask Daniel, when I go into a bathroom, he must come stand in front of that bathroom. I must know he's there. So that was something for me. And then another thing was the waiting. So we had a recall. After our interviews, we was recalled on the 9th of October. So our interviews was in Pretoria, went back to Cape Town, got there on the 6th, I think on the 5th or 4th, the 6th of October. 2 days after we landed, they contacted us and said we have to come back. Just me and Daniel. So we're like, okay, got on the plane and just went back to Pretoria. I had a 5-minute interview and Bolan had a 3-hour, and then we came back, and then after that, shutdown happened. So, the waiting was crazy.
Well, that's kind of hectic. Okay, so look, I'm going to have to say I'm a little confused here, okay? I keep hearing Boland, and I'm thinking of the Cavaliers and rugby. So what's going on here? You said his name is Daniel. Is this a fake story? What's going on here?
Well, it's a nickname. Yeah. It's just a nickname. I'm from Wellington, 2 blocks from the Cavaliers. Two blocks from the Cavaliers.
Okay.
I grew up there. My father's nickname is Boland.
Okay.
He played in Natal. I was born there, so he played for Durban Collegians and Natal B, and they called him Boland there, and then in school they started calling me Klein Boland.
Okay, that makes sense. And look, I mean, they played out of their minds this year in Currie Cup. They were amazing, having been promoted. They played very well. I rooted for them, and the crowd that showed up for their final home game was just insane. It was good to see the sport at Wellington for them. Wellington's kind of growing on me. I went there. I'd never been to Wellington. I just bypassed it many times. And then Steve Hofmeyer had a concert there, and I went to see Steve, and he made me sing on stage. And despite that, I still go back to Wellington. But whenever I show up in Wellington, all the cats disappear. I don't know why. They just run away.
Wow.
Because of the singing.
Because of the singing, that's correct. Yeah. So you don't need animal control. Just send Chris in to sing. It'll solve all the problems. Yeah. Anyway, but oh my gosh. So guys, so Daniel, you guys are kind of like world travelers a little bit. Can we talk about that? You've lived outside of South Africa previously, have you not?
Yeah. No, we lived in London and Hampton. It was just easier for us to travel from London to West Africa. We lived in Ghana, we lived in Sierra Leone, we lived in Dubai. So for us, I think in sense it was easier to leave and go because we know what to expect. We've traveled the States. 2023, we did it a month and a half, 16-state tour.
Wow.
Me and the wife and the kids.
Did you rent a caravan? How did you do that?
No, we just bought a Silverado pickup and we jumped in it, and so luckily Zayli wasn't there yet, so it was only DeLuca. He was younger than Zayli, and then Zia and my oldest one and me and my wife, enough space, and we just drove almost 8 hours a day every day.
Wow. Did you go to the Grand Canyon?
No, so we didn't do that side. So we only went from we landed New York, and my wife's the day before her birthday on the 17th of April, and we spent her birthday in New York, and that evening we flew out to Nashville, and we visited very close friends of ours in Franklin, and we stayed there for a few days, a week or so, and and then we traveled from there.
Well, that's pretty interesting. Now, I've got some bad news from Mercy. I'm just going to have to break it to her. She did say she's a girl mom, so I'm going to have to break this to you. And the evidence is right there in front of us on camera, and I know the audience can relate to this. The thing is that a healthy relationship between a father and a daughter is the most amazing thing. A father who raises his daughters to be resilient, to be confident, to be assertive, to stand on their own, really is special. And I see that Zia and Zayli are going to be coming up and going to be raising them. And I can see this relationship over that Dad's got with Zayli. So you may be a girl mom, but they might be turning to Dad in important times. I'm just saying.
No, true.
Yeah, I know it's a really special thing. So you've had the experience working abroad. So taking this leap was maybe less of a leap for you than other folks who just really don't know what to expect. I mean, we've had people that have never experienced an escalator before who come to America, and with people who've never been in a commercial flight. Some of them have never had credit cards before, although most people have, debit cards by now. So for some people, it's a real culture shock. Now, you've obviously spent time in America. You've lived in West Africa, in the Middle East, well, Britain's not Europe, but it's close enough to Europe, so we'll say Europe. But so culture shock shouldn't be an issue for you. But nonetheless, I've lived in 16 foreign countries, and I've been to 80 of them. There's still a little culture shock. So, Marcia, have you had any culture shock in San Diego yet? Anything that kind of like, whoa, wait a second, I wasn't expecting this?
Yes, so I've been to the hospital on the second weekend we've been here to the ER, and I was in hospital for 2 days, and my culture shock was the amazing support and the hospital people, the nurses. And I had no idea what to do. Because we were phoning our agent because I had so much pain. We were phoning our agent. We were asking people, can I go? Do you think, because our Medicaid is not active yet, even now, we are 4 weeks here. And I was like, because we don't have money. So what can I do? And nobody asked me. And I talked to ChatGPT and I said, please, I need to go to the hospital. And he's like, go. So we went without our medical aid cards, just with our passports. I was submitted there, and after 5 hours they let the kids go, and I was admitted, and then so the service, everything was just, I didn't want to leave. So when I said I must go home now, I was like, no, but I don't feel good. So I just wanted to stay. It was just, and also because it was just a rest for 2 days for me, but I will go back anytime. I know the hospital is crazy for some people, but it was, because also for me to take my kids to hospital is daunting. Now I will know they will be looked after. So my heart is okay to know if my kids have to go to hospital, they will be looked after. And even my social worker came to talk to me. So I'm like, okay, we don't have Medicaid yet. So what they're going to do, they're going to put my account on hold. So I've received the bill yesterday, $26,000. And so for 2 days. But she said once I've got Medicaid, then they will just put it on the Medicaid.
Wow, that's crazy. Well, listen, I think that we'll keep you away from the public relations and the media personnel for Marriott chain and the Hilton chain, because I don't think they want people to be encouraged to stay in hospital instead of a hotel.
I will go back.
Yeah, we're not going to hire you to be the spokesperson for the Marriott or Hilton chain. I'm just saying that. $26,000. Yeah, look, I've told people that in America it's against the law to deny people emergency care. In every state and territory, to my knowledge. So even if you don't have medical insurance, you show up in an emergency room, they have to treat you. But the question isn't that. The question is beyond that, is people have medical cover, as you say in South Africa, medical insurance, because we all need maintenance. If you don't have maintenance, then things get ignored and then they compile and then you have chronic issues. So that hopefully gets sorted out. Now, let me ask you a few questions. I'll ask you, Marcia, because Dad's got his arms full there. So I'll ask you real quickly. So were you greeted by someone at the airport, even though you were delayed overnight in Los Angeles? Were you greeted in San Diego?
In San Diego, in Los Angeles, they didn't know we were coming, so there was nobody. And in San Diego, yes, by our agency.
Okay, so your case officer came and greeted you at the airport. Did they put you in temporary accommodation immediately, or did you fall right into a flat?
1 week in a motel, because they did have an apartment for us. But okay, so a lot of people think that we're picky, but it was complicated for me because it was upstairs. I have three little ones. We do use prams, and it was, if he goes, I homeschool. So I do a lot of field trips with the kids. So then it will be 3 prams down and up again. And for me, it was just, so we just said, no, we don't, this is not going to work for us. And then we looked for another apartment, and we found this really nice apartment opposite the road.
Yeah, but also we arrived the day before the weekend, and over the weekend they don't put you in accommodation.
Yeah, it was Martin Luther King.
Yeah, so we had to wait from the Friday to the Tuesday. And then we had a look at the place, and we said no, and we waited. Yeah, so it was about 7 days before we moved into a flat.
So what I'm going to say to you, Marcy, is that if I were reviewing your situation and you told me that, I wouldn't say you're picky or selective. I would say that you're being a responsible parent. You've got a 22-month-old. You've got other kids. You've got to bring 3 prams down. You can't leave one kid alone upstairs, unattended while you're taking another one downstairs. So that would be my approach. So I think that you're just being a good parent, and I think that's important that you did that. All right, so you were greeted. You did go into a hotel briefly. Then you found a place to stay in. Have you been able to apply for your Social Security cards yet?
Yes, we did, and we have received it.
You've got your Social Security numbers already?
Yeah.
We applied ourselves.
We did it ourselves.
Okay, well, that's something that's an option. I've told people that. A lot of people, freaking out. Or I said, you can go online and apply. I mean, you might need to go to the office. Sometimes they're required. Sometimes you do it online. It just depends. But I've told people some Social Security offices, based on manning, will only do by appointment. Some will only do online. Some will do a combination of the two. Some are walk-in. It just depends on the circumstances where they're at. All right, so you've got Social Security numbers. That's brilliant. Have you begun looking for work?
Yeah, no. So we basically applied for the Social Security 5 days after that we received it. But in that interim, when we applied, I had that letter, so I started sending out CVs. And good response so far. Very good response for only being here 4 weeks. So yeah, no, I mean, so far it's going good. I've got 2 next week interviews. Had 1 this week. So no.
And 1 before we go up online.
Oh yeah, and just 1 before we started the interview, and I asked him, can he phone me back in an hour and a half?
Oh my goodness! So I hope it doesn't cost you a job. I feel bad about that. No, he was understanding. So Marcia, but you're a stay-at-home mom, and you mentioned homeschooling.
Yeah, so I've been registered already as a private school.
Oh, we've got movement in the background. I just saw someone.
Yeah, so this is okay. Ons is nou by hom Chris, jy moet soet wees, hoor.
Hey. Hey, DeLuca, how's it going? He looks very tired.
I'm actually a boy mom because this is my boy. He's coming to me.
I see that. So you were saying you're registered about homeschooling?
So in San Diego, it works like this. I had no idea you register as a private school, but you're not a private school. You just so that you can homeschool your kids. So I'm registered, and my school's name is Zoe Academy, and I can homeschool my 2 kids, and I got the email that I was approved, so we can start homeschooling, yes.
Wow. So did you do this with your first child, or is it something you started more recently?
With the first child, she was schooled in England, then we went back to South Africa, and I homeschooled her as well, but she was bigger, so she could do it on her own. So with this little ones, we are just doing play now because he's 3. So it's play learning, like counting and all of that. With Zia, we're doing Good and Beautiful Life, a US curriculum. We started that in South Africa last year. So Zia's already done a year, and now we can I know the schools is going to close very soon, but I will just keep on because it's very, you can do it in your own time. So yeah, we're just going to go ahead, and when we're ready, we're going to start do it again.
Well, schools won't close very soon. Actually, school doesn't end until June. So they have a break usually June, July, and August. That's when they're closed, which is unusual, but it's a consequence of America's agrarian origins when over 90% of the workforce was involved in agriculture. And the harvest season in the Northern Hemisphere is June, July, and August is when you're growing things, planting things, and you harvest it in August, September, October. So the school years were set up based on the fact that people needed kids to be labor on the farm during the summertime when most of the work was done. And it's just carried over. We still have that, which a lot of people around the world find puzzling, particularly those on the Anglophone system of schools where you have matric and such. But that's just the way it is. So my question about your eldest then is England. Did she wind up with a crappy English accent? Just curious.
In one month.
In just 1 month, she got an English accent. So does she still speak with an English accent now?
No, luckily not.
Thank God. Because they don't say H or they say H. And I'm like, no, Megan, it's an H. No, a H. I'm like, what is this?
Yeah,
Yeah,
you have a valid point, but then you offer Connors, it's hoop, not whoop. Where do you get a W from the H?
Yeah, too.
And if you're curious how I learned how to pronounce that word, you can thank Joe Black.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Whoop, vatis, whoop. Anyway, so there you go. So I'm a big Joe Black fan. He's pretty good. So anyway.
Beautiful song.
Yeah. Anyway, so boy, he looks really knackered.
Yeah, so he is the dog. You do not wake up this dog when he sleeps.
So has there been any adjustment for the kids? It looks like Zaylee's doing a pretty good job adjusting. Because, I mean, I don't think South Africans really appreciate. I'm 7 hours from South Africa right now, and usually 6, but 7. You're another 3 hours. You're 10 hours from South Africa right now. It's late there.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I mean, have the kids adjusted well, or are they still adapting?
No, I think they've adjusted. No, 4 weeks. It normally takes 2 weeks. Definitely adjusted.
Okay, well that's good. No, for me, I mean, you guys have traveled a lot, so I mean, for me, I usually adjust pretty quickly. I don't usually have jet lag. It's something that I just I'm working 24 hours a day, 7 days a week anyway. So I get rest when I can. So it's just always worked out that way. All right, so homeschooling. In many states, you have associations you can join so that the kids are able to socialize as well. Is that something you've already looked into? Because a lot, like I said, they do that for sports so that kids are at homeschool don't lose out on sports, but also so they get socialization skills.
Yes, I've already looked, so we're going to join all of them.
Okay, well, that's good. Now, what about textbooks? Is there something set up there in California where you can go like online and go, this is a curriculum I want to teach kids and these are textbooks, or do you just pick and choose on your own?
I've already started this curriculum. It's called The Good and Beautiful Life. When we were in South Africa, we've done it online. So I just printed some of the stuff, and now I'm going to order the books because it's hard copies that you use. And then I'm just going to order, then we will just go ahead with it.
Okay. So if I may ask, Daniel, what field did you work in? Because it's taking you quite far afield to UK, to West Africa, to Ghana, to Dubai. Did you have a standard field or did you bounce around?
Yeah, so I was more in the project director management in the mining sector and construction. It was, shifting me around and director of, certain countries and managing the projects. That made me, sometimes live in Dubai to open up a company there. Had my own company the last few years, but due to certain things in Africa, it closed down. Corruption and military coups where that happened. So it's but mostly in construction. So that's what I'm looking for here. I'm being contacted by companies in Nevada for new mining companies opening up. I'm actually waiting for them today still to come back to me. We'll go wherever the possibilities is. We wanted to be in Tennessee, but being here, being in the States legally, it's really doesn't matter where you are. It's what you make of it. So so I'm looking at the same stuff this side.
Well, Tennessee's a lovely place, but not a big mining state. There's lots of mining in West Virginia, in Wyoming, Colorado, Arizona. These are places with lots of mining that goes on. So, I mean, it's the mountain states have a lot of resources, a lot of stuff's mined on federal lands. So, if Nevada would not be bad, I don't know if you guys how you handle big cities, if that's your sort of thing, or you like a little because San Diego is kind of a big, heavily populated area. But if you go to Nevada, unless you're living in Vegas, it's thin population. I don't know if that appeals to you, but I know a family in Dallas that's relocating up there to do farming. They've already been offered jobs. They're headed up there shortly with all their kids. So I don't know. Is the big city thing your thing, or are you kind of rural guys? What's your deal?
I think it's cities.
You like cities, huh? Okay, all right.
Not him.
Not me.
Well, maybe then what you do is you get lucky, get a mining job somewhere with a city that's not too big, and the outlook like Reno that's not too far from the mining. Maybe that'll work out for you.
Yeah. So when we lived in the UK, the 2.5 years, I think I was there for a half a year. The rest of the time I was traveling for business. I just planned my trip because I didn't like the UK.
Yeah, no, I can understand that. So, did you like the UK while you were there? Was it all right? I mean, it's changed a lot recently.
It changed, but just keep that aside. I would go back anytime, like in the countryside. Oh, I loved it. I started there with my working holiday visa when I was 19 years old. So the countryside, I love it. It's beautiful, but I know this stuff. But yeah, UK, it's got my heart. I love that place. He doesn't, but I do. I love it. I love it.
Well, look, I mean, it's certainly got its appeal. The Cotswolds is pretty amazing. It's nice to go there. Yeah, and then parts of Wales and much of Wales, I should say, Scotland, absolutely lovely. So I get it. Yeah, but it's definitely a hectic place. I mean, when I get on the motorway there, I just you want to have a firearm. I'm just kidding. The way people drive, it's crazy. But you know what? People drive crazy everywhere. I was just in Dallas and I felt the same way. Just hectic and out of control. It's just a little too much traffic. All right, so you guys are kind of like Americans. You're willing to go where the work is. You'll uproot and go find yourself a job, and you're willing to set up and do it again. And I guess with the kids, Mercy, it's going to be a bit easier because you do the homeschooling. Whereas when I was a kid, I got dumped in public schools and I got moved all the time. It was tough. And but I mean, if you survive that, you become resilient. I learned how to adapt to every environment, and it paid off for me in the end. But okay, so let's shift a little bit the gears here and talk about the brass tacks of what's going on now. So you're not enrolled in refugee medical assistance because you're going to get Medicaid. Is that correct?
Yeah, so we have no idea so our EBT is not registered, our cash, CalFresh, CalAid. There was a problem with our address or something. They've done a wrong address. So yeah, we have so the hospital, someone from the hospital phoned me yesterday and she was like, okay, so she just want to find out, do I have what do you call it? Your medical, what do you call it? If you have medical aid yet? And I'm like, no, we're still waiting. She's like, okay, do you want me to follow up? I'm like, can you do it? She's like, yes, just sign this form online and I can go ahead and ask the county what's happening. So I'm like, oh, go ahead, you can do it.
So she can act as an agent on your behalf.
Yes.
And they actually know who to talk to and which buttons to push. Well, that's brilliant. Maybe you'll get results quicker then. Okay. So did you get any refugee cash assistance when you arrived? I mean, did they give you any cash to get you started?
So we got amount per person for even the kids, and that is our set amount. So that's obviously for our rent, but the agency controls it, and you have to go to them if you need it. So it was difficult with not having the EBT yet. So it went to food and stuff. Yeah. So now we visited some food banks. Wow, and they came here yesterday or the day before with so much stuff that I don't think we have to buy food in another 2 weeks. So we will be sorted until we have our EBT again. Yeah.
But okay, so you didn't get any cash. They didn't give you any cash at all when you arrived?
No, we have to ask.
Okay, all right, that's fine. That must be a policy. I'd say a lot of people, they arrive, they give them a little bit of cash. They got some pocket.
Oh, they did. Sorry. They gave us $300 for the weekend until Tuesday.
Okay. So you did get something. Okay, I just want to, because I mean that would be on you. It's look, they can administer. That's okay. They can administer the program the way they like, but I just want to make sure because we're getting some complaints from folks, and now stories are breaking about mistreatment of refugees, and something Shelley Hepburn talked about first, and then I also talked about. I was reticent to talk about it because I hadn't actually seen it firsthand, but once I went to Rochester, and I could see it. And I also had dealt with it in Modesto, California, and then also in Austin, Texas. I felt more comfortable talking about it. But now CBS News has picked up the story, and so I just want to make sure we get the facts out there. Okay, so you got that. What about now, Daniel? This might not be a big issue for you because you're accustomed. I would say you're a white collar worker that has a CV and you've traveled the world. So I don't imagine you're going to have to do much converting on your CV to match what the American employers are looking for because you're probably familiar with it. Is that a fair statement?
Yeah, so I actually, converted my CV about 5 years ago to the American standard. Yeah, like I said, it's like you said, it's basically the same as deep Africa in the mining sector. It's all the same. So yeah, I'm not changing anything on it, and I've got good feedback on it already. So yeah, stick to that.
No, that's good to hear. So what are you doing looking for jobs? Are you using Indeed.com, Monster.com, or looking at newspapers? How are you looking for a job, Daniel?
Yeah, so Indeed, LinkedIn, and a few others, small ones. But strange enough, when I changed my living status from Cape Town to San Diego on LinkedIn, I was contacted by 3 companies immediately.
Wow, that's interesting. It's funny because when I changed my occupation, I still listed everything I've done. When I changed it from consultant to radio host, which is something I do, I stopped getting job offers. when I switched it back to consultant for defense and national security, the job offers started flying. It's amazing what the little search engine will do.
Yeah, no, for sure. So no, I was blessed there. Yeah, so three of the companies, and it's quite good company. So we're busy with them. Contacted me on my own. So I didn't even send them anything.
No, that's amazing. That's the nice thing about LinkedIn. I've received lots of job offers from there, and really lots of job offers, and most of them are quite lucrative. But I keep turning them down because I've developed, I guess, either a foolishness or a passion for what I'm doing here.
And your music career, I mean.
Oh, yeah, that's amazing. Wow. Your songs.
Oh, you like the songs, do you?
Yes. Love it.
Well, I do sell it. People can buy it on iTunes and on Amazon. You can buy all those songs.
Okay, I'll go check now after this.
Yeah, no, it's but not many people are buying it, but hopefully they will. No, I think it's some of the songs that you watch the content, like especially on Night Owls, I'll be talking to the audience and I'll get an idea and I say, what do you think about a song? Or I'll say, give me an idea for a song, and somebody come up with something, and I'll take it and I'll write some lyrics and then I'll feed that through Gemini. Now I used to just put it right in Suno. And the songs come out amazing. The Steve Hofmeyer tribute song was just unbelievably good. I mean, and the accent was good. It was just the right pace. But the one I played today, the pot boils over. I really like that one because that's the Cyril Ramaphosa analogy to about the pot, the frog in the pot. So that one's kind of fun. And then the Pala Pala one, I like that one too. I like mixing it up, because I like all kinds of music. I know some people prefer country or rock or whatever, but I find that the artificial intelligence is really good at doing country and reggae. They're the two best, I think. So it does okay in pop, but some of them just kind of crap out. And rocks, they do okay, but some are just not. They all sound the same sometimes. So, but I'm glad you guys like the music. That's pretty cool.
All right.
All right. So have you had a chance to do anything or go anywhere? I know you've just been there, not even a month. You're approaching a month now, but have you been able to go down and walk along the beach? Have you been able to get out? I know you're not right by the beach. You're away from that.
So we had our anniversary on the 7th of February.
Well, happy belated anniversary.
Thank you. So we spoiled the kids for that day, and we went to Chuck and Cheese. So that was our anniversary. That's
Chuck
the biggest thing
Cheese.
we've done. Yeah. They loved it. We were tired, but the pizza was amazing. So that was our anniversary, and the kids enjoyed it. So it was lovely.
Somebody just asked, how do I get to hear your music? On YouTube, just type in DJ for disc jockey, DJ Silver Eagle, not because of my hair color, but because I was a colonel. DJ Silver Eagle, and then Topic. and you'll find the channel. And if you're on it and you're on your phone or whatever, you only see 4 songs, don't worry. Push the thing on the right and it'll reveal all the songs and you can check them out. That's ironically, as far as making money, I make more money off YouTube playing my music than I do off of Spotify or even the sales of music on Apple. So it's not that I make much money on it. But yeah, you can check. I've got I think 100, 125 songs published. I've done over 200.
Wow.
I don't publish all of them. So, yep. No, we're not going to play a song right now, Coco. We're having a conversation, although they like the music. they won't be able to hear the music, I don't think, unless I put the microphone right next to it. So anyway, gosh, well, I'm glad that you guys like it. And you have to add one out. So Chuck E. Cheese. Kids love Chuck E. Cheese. They do.
Yeah.
Just...
So we've been to, our first one was in Dubai. And then, what was this again?
In
In Nashville, in Tennessee. So yeah, so the Dubai one was, they can come learn from you because I have no idea what they do inside there. So with the Dubai one, we had to upload money the whole time. It was just gone. And yeah, I'm so sorry, but I told the kids it's gone, but there was still 30 points. Well, I was tired, I couldn't anymore. So they still have 30 points left, but I just said, no, it's now finished. Your card is empty, but there's still 30 points. We'll go again. I was tired. I couldn't anymore.
So the kids wore you out at Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah. And it was we went on a busy day. It was Saturday, so there was 7 parties at a time, then the next 2 hours 7, so we were there almost for 4 hours. So we were there during the busy party hours, and it was so hot inside, busy.
I'll bet. So guys, let's see, you've done some things that you've overcome some challenges without even getting into persecution. First off, the challenge of finding employment and going abroad, moving somewhere else. You've done that multiple times. That's something that very few people do. You've also had fertility challenges, and you tried to have a kid, and that's very frustrating for many couples. And you were fortunate and blessed to eventually have a child and used in vitro. And then the challenge of adoption. My first sergeant, when I was in Italy, he was married, and his wife desperately wanted a child, but there's no way she could conceive. It wasn't even possible. It's very complicated, but she could never conceive, and she was heartbroken. So they decided to adopt. There was a girl in California who was pregnant, and they agreed to adopt a child, blonde-haired, blue-eyed girl, and they're a white family. And so when the child was born, as they were about to fly from Italy to California to collect the child, she changed her mind. She's allowed to do that, and so they were heartbroken. Well, he wasn't all that hip on having a child. That wasn't his thing, but he loved his wife, and he'd had a practice marriage, so he didn't want to do it again. For her, it was adoption or it's a deal breaker. We get divorced. That was just her. That was her flat line rule. So she wanted kids. And so what happened is they wound up adopting a child in the Marshall Islands. And when they have the child in the Marshall Islands, there's a photograph of the 3 of them. She's like all excited. The baby's there, and she's holding a baby, or he's holding a baby. I think she was holding a baby, and he's like. And so when he came back to Italy. Of course, it's a couple days later. It's all the way on the other side of the world. They got to fly multiple places. They came back. We used to give him a hard time because that sour puss. And I said, she's going to be daddy's girl. And that kid broke him down, and he became a dad. And she became a daddy's girl. Unfortunately, he passed away from cancer a few years back. But my point of the story is that they went through heartbreak after heartbreak, and the experience of adopting the child was miserable for them. I hope it wasn't that way for you. But so, for instance, when they were in the Marshall Islands, they met the mother who had like half a dozen kids of her own. She just kept having kids and adopting them off. And the reason is because they wanted things. So you're expected, they had to buy a refrigerator and a microwave while they're there. It was very transactional. But the upshot is that child now is in her 20s and doing quite well in life. And unfortunately, even though her father's passed away, her mom's still around, and she's loved, which is what matters in the end. So, but you guys have done things. You've overcome obstacles that most people never face in their life, and we're not even talking about the persecution. So, Mercy, do you feel like a resilient person?
Yes.
Okay, that was not a very detailed answer. I was hoping for more.
Okay, in what way? Like in my whole, in circuit, everything, or in
just in life? I mean, when a challenge comes, do you a lot of people are like, oh, woe is me, or do you look at the challenge and go, you know what, this is, I got the alert on. Sorry about this. Somebody's getting alert. If you look at the challenge and go, all right, this is something I got to deal with. Let's deal with this. Some people look forward to challenges. As a leader in the military, I got challenges all the time. And now what I do, I get challenged all the time. And I don't fret about it. I look and go, you know what? I'm going to sort this out. So what's your approach?
Yeah, so I take it on. So, like you said earlier, like a girl needs a dad. My number one thing in my life was my dad. He passed in COVID. And one thing, we were looking at coming to America in 2018 already, and then he watched YouTube videos with me, and he would look at the salami areas in the delis, and he would like, come, let's go. So just because of the food, he wanted to come, and I was like, you should go just because of food. But so to be here now and walk and in a deli and see salami, I just think about him every time. So he raised me, and even with, like you said, you traveled. He was a pastor, so we moved to 5 or 6 cities in South Africa. So I was in 1, 2, 3, 4. I was in 4 schools. So 2 in primary and 2 in high school. So and that is a lot on its own. Just to come to a new, like I went to my last year in school was we moved just before my matric year to George. And then like we arrived in October, school is already finished, and I'm like, what am I going to do? And then they say no, they will just take our marks for the beginning of the year, so we didn't have to go to school. So and then when I was 15 years old, I was in a hit and run in Pretoria, and I didn't. It also happened in October. I didn't go to school the rest of the year. So with stuff, so I think God prepares stuff for you in your life. Like my dad, if I didn't have that dad, and even my husband, I wouldn't be the person I am because of the men in my life. And I know for some women, men is not like, if you talk about men, it's like, to keep them away. But for me, I needed that. I needed those men in my life to just ground me, to just keep me on my feet, and just to know that I can do stuff. And then like with God, he's my number one thing, and just to know that he will be there. If I go through something, it's him, and I just do whatever he wants me to do.
So Marcia, my comment to you earlier about daddy's girls, obviously you understood that because it sounds like you were a daddy's girl.
Exactly. I was the only girl. Yes, I have 2 brothers, and I was loved more than my dad was. He was my everything, and how he treated me, like I was his little princess. And I know people say a princess, but I felt like that. So with my matric farewell, I didn't want to have the same dress as anybody else or the same color. So we lived in George, and my dad flew me to Johannesburg to go buy a dress there in a boutique. And I went back, and I had the only color, like it was a very, very bright color. What do you call it? What's groen? Lime green. It was a lime green.
Yeah, lime green.
And I stood out. So that was my dad. Yeah. So he flew me to Johannesburg.
Marcia, I would say anybody wearing a lime green dress is going to stand out.
I thought it was so dark. Yeah.
Not exactly a traditional color for a prom or something like that. So there was a super chat here from Bitcoin JC a little bit ago. He gave 70 rand. He said, San Diego is amazing. You guys will be very happy there. Well, they might not be staying there because they're going to go where the employment is. Best weather ever. Yeah, you hands down, the weather's fantastic. 12 months a year. He said, make sure to take the Old Town Trolley. An absolute must. Okay. It's a tour.
Yeah, I've seen that, yes.
Yeah, so you need to do that. If you do decide to move away, make sure you do that before you move away. And also make sure you go down and walk the beach a little bit, before you leave.
Yes, of course, we love the beach.
If you guys leave, I don't care for the beach. Give me the mountains. I'll take the Drakensberg over Durban any day. Trust me. Durban is brutally hot, but I'll take the mountains. Yeah. So I guess the answer is you do feel resilient. You're a person that's able to adjust and things. So
true.
Yeah. So coming to America now, you guys, I don't think have transport yet, correct?
No.
Okay. No. So then you probably haven't had a chance to go to a Costco or a Sam's Club or something like that.
So we've been blessed. From the day we arrived, the support of the South Africans that arrived in December, and then South Africans living here for the last 25 years, support was amazing. So I'm telling you now, if we hadn't had that, it would have been a struggle, because the agencies only do up to a point. They don't transport you to certain meetings. They pick you up for medicals and stuff like that, but to going to the food and stuff, no, you have to walk. Yeah, they don't help you. They just switch off. So So we had a vehicle, picking up. So there's a family I'm not going to name, but they blessed us. They already started, finding furniture for us over December and January, first quarter of January, on Marketplace for free. They picked it up, and when we moved in, we had furniture already stocked at their house. They're not far from us, and one of the other South Africans made his truck available, so we could, go on Marketplace again, and you want to swap, furniture around, and then bless somebody else with the furniture you have, and that's what we did, and it's still going on now. 5 families arrived this week, 4 families arrived last week, so now the truck is in between the families, and they can all, go around and help each other. So we've without a vehicle now, and it's quite daunting because, if there's interviews and whatever, then you have to Uber, and Uber is very expensive here. So yeah, but we'll come right.
Well, that's interesting. I didn't know that many people are showing up in San Diego. I need to address something that was just in the chat. Somebody's doing a little sad stuff, and I'm feeling sad for people who live in poverty. I don't know what planet that person is living on, but many of the people that I've talked to live in abject poverty. Some of them come over and haven't had a job in years because they've sent resumes out, and they've had hundreds of responses saying, well, we can't hire you because you're white or because you're colored. So I don't know what that woe is me comment was. One of my monitors must delete it because I don't see it anymore, but thank you for doing that. This nonsense BS, I'm getting sick of hearing it about this program being for certain people. You can take that stuff and shove it, whoever wants to perpetuate that lie. This program is for South African racial minorities suffering from unjust racial persecution. And whether you're rich like Rob Hersoff or Johan Rupert, or you're dirt poor like someone living in Philadelphia, isn't germane. And people of all spectrums have come over. There have been wealthy people come over. There have been dirt poor people come over. There have been Muslims have come over. Yes, that's right, Muslims. We had some Indians or Muslims come over, and some coloreds or Muslims come over. And we've had Christians come over. So it doesn't matter. Stop perpetuating that. Don't do it in my chat. Thank you to the moderator to delete that comment. Guys, I get frustrated when I see that nonsense.
Yeah, no, it's frustrating.
So just on that point, if I can just share, because I'm an honest person, they're coming back from America in 2023. We lost everything on that moment. Someone just took our stuff away from us. It was not that very good, so we lived with family for 2 years. Now in 2024 and 2025, the last 6 months of 2025 is the only time we were on our own, and Daniel was blessed with a job just to cover our stuff. So we've been a year and a half living with family, coming back from. We arrived here in Los Angeles. Boland had $24 left. We went, and he was like doing miracles. So he was like, and I was so angry because we got vouchers from the airline, and I was like, thank God, we almost have $80 for breakfast. So I'm excited. I'm gonna have something good and a cappuccino. And I'm like, okay, are you gonna buy us something? And he just looked at me, and I'm like, what's wrong now? He left the vouchers in the hotel, and I was like, but God help me just to calm down in that airport. They would have just escorted me out if I had to go the way I would normally go. And he had $24 left. I don't even, 25, what's his shopping? I don't even know. So he came back with little hash browns and one drink that we can go refill to share between us. So that's how we arrived. Arriving in San Diego, we had nothing, no money, just the clothes. So I don't know if people want to say, I don't know if you say that's, but we had, it was hard. Yes, I know it doesn't look like we are poor. But we came with nothing. Really, no savings, nothing.
Well, Marcia, that's the reason why I brought the topic up from the chat, and I saw it before it was deleted, because frankly, I'm nauseated by the crap that people come up with. The attacks on Thea von Straten from the convicted prostitute, and all this other stuff that's going on, people attacking people. People don't live in your shoes, just to keep their cake-hole shut on their business. As you just freely admitted, you arrived with $24 to your name. A family of 4 here, plus an adult family member back elsewhere, and you had $24 to your name. No one to help you with anything. And what frustrates me to no end is that from the very beginning of this last year, I heard this whining and constant crying, well, I don't have money for passports. You know, I know your name is Smith, but I hear you speaking Afrikaans, and I've always thought that in Boer Mak and Plan, you know, I always thought that was the deal. It wasn't that the resilience. That's why I asked about resilience. And last year, people and I've got some viewers who listened to me last year and took to heart what I said, and they worked hard. Some of them went and squeegeed, you know, windscreens in Pretoria. Others sold things. Others, you know, carried bags for people. They had humility, and they got the money. And one of my viewers, Chris Ehlers, actually paid for half a dozen or 8 or 10 people's passports applications. But instead, we get whining. Oh, I'm poor. There's a reason you're poor. And it's not just because of racist laws. It's because you're your piss poor attitude. Sorry, there's no kids there. They left. It's because you're piss poor attitude. You know, people fall in hard times, but blaming the world and not taking responsibility for your actions and being sour at other people and presuming that they have something that they don't have. This family had $24 when they arrived. They're not rich. The fact they used to live in Dubai, used to live in the UK doesn't mean jack squat because those times evaporated. They're gone. Now, if I misstate anything there, am I correct in my statement?
No, you're correct.
Okay.
100.
So that's why I take offense and I take umbrage when people pull this crap, you know, and I get other stuff like people that are sour about people who get here and get jobs. There are some refugees who have 6-figure incomes already, 6-figure incomes, $100,000 plus. Some of them make you know, doing quite well. Not every, and you know, I got a ride the other day for a refugee family. It's only been here for a short time, who have a pickup truck I'd kill to have, but I don't want their interest on their loan. That's a little too high for me. That's probably why I don't have a nice pickup truck like that. But my point is that people shouldn't be sour. Stop being a Debbie Downer and start being, you know, someone that looks at things brighter. And stop complaining about, I don't have money for a passport, or I can't get to Pretoria. Find a way to get to Pretoria. Ask around. Don't be lazy. If you know, these people are insistent on going to these stupid WhatsApp groups and on Facebook and moaning and pissing and spreading rumors. Why don't you use those groups to go, hey, I have to go to Pretoria on Friday. Anybody traveling that way this week? Oh, you're going on Tuesday? Well, I don't have a job. Can I go with you on Tuesday? All right. I mean, I got a little bit of money. Maybe I can help pay for some of the petrol. Use some initiative. I mean, look, Daniel, you've worked around the world. Frankly, I just find this woe is me attitude to be quite frustrating. You don't have to comment if you don't want to, but I mean, you can't succeed in life if you don't try.
No, I mean, I'm not going to say much because we see it here as well. We see it, people coming in. If they have that mentality of, you know, like they had in South Africa, and they come here and they do this, and you know, not think out of the box, they're going to stay the same.
True.
And if and I always said, if you come to the States and you live poorly, it's your own mistake, because then you're lazy, because all the opportunities in life is here.
We are on grants.
You can or live on grants or whatever. I mean, you can go pack racks in Walmart. You can, you know, there's so much opportunities. So pull your finger out of a place and flip and
Yeah. Sorry,
and get it done.
I had that on speaker view and I started laughing and took the camera off you. So, yeah. Don't sit on your thumb and rotate because you'll just be in pain. Anyway, but yeah, so there's a Smith family that's viewers on the program, the Mr. and Miss Smith, and from one Smith family to the other, all the best to you, what they're saying. And Chrisigi just said that what I said was well said. So thank you for that. No, look, I mean, I dealt with this last year. It was unbelievable, the constant stuff, and people wanted to come in and bicker. And it is, you know, last year I've been attacked by people saying, why do you only help rich people? What are you talking about? I don't look at people's incomes. I don't hang out with rich people. I mean, trust me, when I'm in the Sutu Cultural Village, there aren't many rich people there I'm hanging out with me. And when I go help the Forum for Democrats in Zeerust, it's all Tswana-speaking black South Africans. They can't scratch 2 rand together to do stuff for the political party. Yet, nonetheless, I talk to them, interview them, and I try to help them. You know, this nonsense about people presume a lot of stuff, guys. They really assume and presume a lot of stuff, and they really don't know what they're talking about. And so some of the stuff I just find comical. So, have you both gone to? I assume that you've done matric and maybe you've gone to university. Either one of you or both of you, have you done that as well?
So I've just been to like a drama and music school, Zoe Academy. That's what my dad started. That's what I've done after school for 3 years. So they go around and do music and plays at school. So that's what I've done. And
yeah. So me, Haven't studied after school. I haven't studied after school. Just was pushed into a position and made it work, and yeah, worked hard enough to get to a level that you actually can't go further.
So you've been working from the get-go, from day one. You just went right in the workforce.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody, Neil here, who's in the UK, says, watch your kids, drugs in the USA are huge. That's kind of ironic, Neil, given that Train Spotting is a British film about heroin addicts, and it's very famous. So thank you for that contribution.
Oh, my Lord.
I've never once touched an illicit substance in my life, and it's never been around me, except when I was in college, and my roommates used to spill their bong water. It's disgusting. That stuff is nasty.
Yeah.
And the only place I did that was in UK. So
yeah, there you go. The UK. Hendo's laughing about me saying Train Spotting. Yeah, no, it was a great film though. Great film. Launched a few careers. All right, so what have we neglected to cover? Is there anything that we haven't discussed here? We've talked about adoption, about the family, about a blended family, about the challenges. Well, let me do this. What's the most rewarding aspect? I know it's early days. It's just been a month since you come to the States. I'll let Daniel go first. Give Mercy a moment to think about this. What has been the most rewarding aspect of participating in this program for you, Daniel, so far?
Well, I think for any family, rewarding for me is, being able to be on this program for free. The only cost you have is, the cost in going to your interviews, but now it's easier it's in Cape Town, but, the cost of driving down to Johannesburg or Pretoria. And luckily we had passports, so we don't have, too much cost there, but in being here for free, getting here, to have the ability to be a legal working, let's say American, becoming American,
Well, a resident of the United States, a lawful
resident.
Yeah.
Where in life would you get this? You will never get it. Even if it's not on this program, otherwise it will cost you millions of dollars to be legal. So yeah, that's rewarding for me. Or you can be illegal. That's also, but you won't. You won't. But yeah, it's that's for me. It's
So Mercy, let me ask you the same question. What's been the most rewarding experience so far?
So for me, it was when we went to bed in the evenings and we said, please just in South Africa now, let it just happen, and to wake up and we are here, and to let the kids know now we're saying thank you. I mean, I wake up and I'm in America. We are safe. Yes, I always say we are safe, but I do always also say, I know it's not safe everywhere in America. I'm not saying it's safe everywhere. When we traveled in 2023, I saw bad places, like drug dealing in front of us, out of our Airbnb, we could see it. So I'm not saying everywhere is safe. But I feel safe where I am. I feel safe with my kids. I mean, we could have gone, the other night we were out of diapers, and that day Boland was helping the refugees moving, so we didn't have time to go. So we went to Walmart after 10, and I was like, I feel safe. I took the kids out, and I was like, how can I do this in South Africa? I mean, yeah, there was times that I could not even, and we also lived in a safer area in South Africa, but everything is starting to, I don't know. So for me, it's just to be here and to have this opportunity, and to Donald Trump for making this happen for us. I will be forever grateful for this body, for doing, it's just, I'm so grateful.
No, it's amazing. Really quickly for the audience, let's not beat up on Neil. Neil was not being cheeky or rude or not attacking America. He was just sharing his point of view, which is a valid point of view. Yes, and I didn't take it that way. I was just chuckling because Train Spotting is one of the most famous drug films out there, and it's a British film. So let's not beat up on Neil. He's just sharing. But I will disagree with him on one point. It's not different in South Africa. Drugs are a major problem in South Africa, particularly in certain communities in the Cape Flats, the colored communities. Not a statement about coloreds, but it is an endemic problem with tick and with other things. It's a real problem there, mandrax and other things. So it's not unique. And I never had drugs around me. So it's a problem that occurs. And the best thing about it is that if you have children, you talk to them about this. and you tell them the dangers of it, and if necessary, show them. I mean, listen, I was a freshman at university in 1982, and one of the resident assistants had a class and showed us photographs about sexually transmitted diseases. After watching those photographs, I never wanted to have sex again the rest of my life. That was pretty disgusting. So I mean, the point is, as parents, you have to raise this and show the consequences of drugs. I've never understood the desire. I understand peer pressure. I get that. But, I understand that, but I don't understand why anybody would want to do them, because I'm high on life. Life is too precious, and it's too crazy to take a risk. So anyway, all right. Sorry to go on about the drug thing. I just want to make sure people weren't beating up on Neil, because Neil's a decent person. We'll tolerate the Welsh if we have to. It's not a problem. We've got flesh in on here. If we can tolerate flesh, and we can tolerate Neil. Anyway, but seriously, all right, guys. So other than looking for work, what's the next big thing? Have you already started the homeschooling for the kids, Mercy, or is it something you'll start soon?
Right. So we already just registered, and so we will start soon. We just want to see where we're going to go and what's going to happen, and because there's a lot of stuff that we're talking about. So, and then because I don't want to disturb them again, like uproot and go. So once we are settled, we will start.
Okay, so is it fair to say the next time that we talk, you might be in Nevada or Utah or Colorado or Tennessee if you had your druthers, but you may be somewhere else. Your long-term plan doesn't envision being in San. First of all, I know there's no mining except Bitcoin mining in San Diego. I can guarantee that.
Look, wherever the opportunity comes up. If the opportunity is here, then so be it. We'll take it on. We open to discussions.
All right. If any employers are listening, you can contact him on LinkedIn. You'll find him on LinkedIn. You'll see that he lives in San Diego, not in Klipfontein. Well, actually, Anna Marie Boykes asked a very good question here, and I think I know the answer. But let me just ask someone just to lead it. Maybe she did, but let me ask a question of you, Marcia. Why homeschooling instead of public schools? Is it just something you want to do, or I mean, it can't be because you're angry at the public schools. You haven't been here long enough to even see what they do.
So for me, there's words I cannot do here on your YouTube. So it is stuff I saw when I was in South Africa, and that happened here in schools. The number one problem in schools here with that, I can just say people coming in and just get to your kids. So that was so while we were in Tennessee, that happened in a Christian school there. And it was just so, and I know it can happen anywhere, but for me, if I know they are with me, I know they are safe and I can protect them. And it's the same in South Africa. And also we tried, Zia tried school in Dubai. She tried school in South Africa. It's not working for her. She's an introvert. We had a hard time sending her to school. So that is, that's a combination. And I'm a good teacher as well, so.
And I also, Chris, I think we will be honest, it's about blue state and red states as well. We know what's going on in blue state schooling. We looked at it, and like a tree, it's a boy and a girl is a girl.
So Boland, I'm confused. You don't want your children having drag queen story time?
No.
I haven't got any kids around, but I wouldn't want them going to drag queen story time either. That just seems highly inappropriate. They should be learning about reading, writing, arithmetic, and geography and things like that. Not about the drag time story queen. Drag queen story time. Gosh, I can't even say that. It's so obnoxious. So obnoxious I can't even say it. Well, I know what you're talking about, and again, we just had another event like that happen in Canada, and once again, who was it? A transgender person who had mental health issues. And people aren't learning. They aren't learning. I appreciate and understand why you want to do that. I got it. Now, I went to probably almost 40 public schools in my 12 years of education. So I've seen it all. I've seen the good. I've seen the bad. I've been the majority. I've been in a school where all the kids were white, not because it was racist, because black people weren't dumb enough to live in rural Appalachia. That's why. And I've been to schools where I was the only white kid. And I've gone all over the country, so I've always had to adapt. But that's That's ancient history. I think that's before they invented electricity and paved roads when I went to school. It's been a while ago.
It's yes.
Now I'm reaching a stage in life where I can be like those old crusty guys and go, yeah, I had to walk 12 miles to school every day, uphill both ways through 6 feet of snow. You little whiny whippersnappers, Gen Xers, you have no idea what it's like to suffer. Anyway, see, I can do that now. All right. So, guys, I do look forward to an update, and I suppose I can go watch your channel for that because apparently you guys like to do videos, or at least Mercy likes to do videos.
He's so shy.
So people can always do that. I didn't put a link in there because I've been so busy. I just came back from Texas and I've been swamped, and I've been broadcasting nonstop since I got back. So I will put a link to your channel in there so people can find that. And you're very welcome for that. And folks, feel free to go sign up. Now, did you give a special name, or is it what's the name? Because I mean, there's probably like 1 million Smiths that have YouTube channels. So what do you call your channel?
The Smiths USA.
Okay. Wow. No one had that already. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Maybe somebody had the Smythes UK.
Yeah.
Possibly. But we'll get that link in there and you guys can go check it out. I think you have a handful of subscribers now, but maybe it'll grow as people want to hear more about what you're doing, what you're up to. But no, you're very welcome. It's my pleasure. And I want to thank you guys for coming on. It's always enjoyable for me because it's very time consuming to do these things. It takes a lot of my time. But I think it's important for people to hear experiences so that things are disproved. I mean, we've talked, again, this interview is different than every other interview I've done. Now, yes, you have similarities, like the Stoltz family. You have adopted children, and yes, they're black, and you've gone through bigotry and racism as a consequence of adopting them. But they were very different in what it was all about. And in your case, you are world travelers who are accustomed to adjusting, and you're ready to make that switch. And so that's different than the previous guest I've had on too. I mean, Minri was on here, and she used to work in Dubai, but I wouldn't call her a world traveler as such, whereas you guys have lived all over in Europe and in Africa and the Middle East and now North America. So everyone is presented with different challenges and opportunities. And I like your approach to how you're looking at this. And it's good to hear that the South Africans that are there helping out. I don't know if you've been in touch with the South African women that Antoinette has put together, if they're helping you. That's good if they are. But it's nice to see people help, and I'm glad that you're adjusting well. So I'm going to give you both a chance to speak, and why don't we let Bolin go first? Look at that, I'm calling him Bolin now, and I'm calling him Daniel anymore. I've fallen right in. But we'll let Bolin go first, and then Marcia, your turn. Anything you want to share, good, bad, indifferent, encouragement, or if you want to dissuade people from doing the program, I don't know, whatever you want to share. And then, any messages for the folks out there. So Bolin, you get to go first. The floor is yours, sir.
Yeah, I would, it's every family has a different scenario, different story, different life, different, don't challenge other families of what they're saying, how they gone through the process. It's everything. Everyone is different. And it's easy to show fingers and say, yeah, like exactly what you said earlier. It's you poor, you this, you that. You're not poor. Every story is different. Please stop pointing fingers at other families and look at yourself. If you do this program, focus on you, your wife, and your kids. And if you're single, focus on yourself. But the opportunity that you're getting coming to the States, it's one in a lifetime. You will never get this opportunity again. Take it with both hands. Stick to each other. It's going to be difficult times. Like anywhere else in the world, it's difficult. There will be difficult times, but stick together and, believe in God. Because for us, it works. And he's everything in our life. And without him, it would have been more challenging. And and I just want to say thank you to the people that's, South Africans that's here, that helped us as well, where we are now. We really appreciate it.
Okay, so for me, first of all, I want to say to you, Colonel Chris, Uncle, thank you so much for you are doing. In the beginning, I was also offended by you getting so angry. And then one day what changed my mind is not changed, but what changed my heart about you was I'm gonna get emotional because it hit home when you did that video about your dad passing in that coffee shop. And when you cried, I was like, wow, he's a human. Not that I'm saying you're not, but seeing those tears and to know that you can be so raw on camera, because I was just seeing you getting angry with people, and when they say, but which is good, I really appreciate that. But when you did that video about your dad, it touched me, because I also lost my dad, and then I saw your heart there, and I know, wow, what a man. And then I changed my mind. So I do apologize for not for thinking you were very angry and just, but when I saw that video, I just saw you, what a person you are. So thank you so much for that. And then I want to say to everybody, because I know friends, Wolf the Blind Biker, he's still in South Africa. They are waiting. I mean, I talk to him every day. Hannes, Vanessa, Shirley. These guys were before me and before us, and they're still waiting. I just want to say to you guys, I know we talk and we say every day, but it's going to come. It's going to come. You've heard, like Uncle Chris said, that it's nobody was denied yet. So just keep the faith. Just hang on. Like for me, the easiest part, there was times that I wanted to quit. And then I was on a lot of WhatsApp group, Facebook, and I just deleted it because it was making it. I went crazy. And then I joined this Goonies group that is on Telegram. Wow. These people and Exodus, it was a different, it was not talking just refugee, it was supporting each other. So look look at your groups. If it makes you depressed or it's making you crazy, change. Do not be in a group that's making you crazy, go crazy. So then at the time I've learned to go minute by minute, not even day by day. If it's gonna come, spending time with my kids, it's a minute, next minute spending, and stay not looking at this program anymore, and just went minute by minute. And then when it came, I was like, wow, I actually lived my life, because there was times when I was just this program and it was really going crazy with my mind. So when I realized that there's more important stuff happening, like my kids, I have to be there for them. I have to be mentally good for them. And it changed my perspective of being there now, and do not worry about, and stop going on that my case. Just get it. Stop it. Thank God I'm still okay. I hope I'm okay. But so for me, it is just, thank you to you. Thank you to Donald Trump and to my friends that's still waiting. Guys, you're going to come. It's going to happen. And to my family, we love you. We miss you. And thank you so much for everybody that's tuning in today and listening to us bubbling.
Well, that's very kind of you. Yeah, no, look, there was a time last year when it just became so annoying. People, and mostly because people just wouldn't listen. Why don't you make a video? I made a video. What about financial? I made a video that was there for people. So I understand. But yeah, no, thank you very kindly. Yes, that's when my stepfather passed away when I was in the UK. My brother was really hit hard by that. He's my half brother. It was his natural father. So, I was hit kind of hard too, because he was more of a father to me than any of my fathers ever were. So I had two stepfathers and a natural father. But thank you for those kind words. I appreciate that. Now, I would be remiss if I don't cover this, and I hope you don't mind if I let the cat out of the bag, Bolin, but we had a mutual friend who passed away this past year.
Yep, last year.
Yep. Yeah. No, he was a great guy, great friend, great brother. We had great laughs. But Neil de Beer was an awesome person. We as a family were very close with him. Great loss for South Africa. I thought he's gonna, definitely would he wasn't scared saying what he's saying.
No, he would call a spade and tell it like it is, and I think that was one of his greatest strengths.
And Jelly Tot was very afraid of him.
Jelly Tot.
He never ever challenged
you just lifting away from the tears by saying that. That's helpful. So, thanks for that. Yeah, no, I don't know how close to the end you saw Neil, but I was it was almost the end when I saw him. Yeah, you were there at the end, but I saw him just a couple months before he passed, and the spirit was indomitable. But the body was withering by then, but the spirit was indomitable. Look, I covered Neil because some of my viewers pestered me to talk to him in the beginning when he formed the UIM. And I said, Neil De Beer, isn't that the guy that everybody hates? And I said, yeah, that's him. I said, but yeah, a lot of people love Neil. And I said, and as he formed UIM, more and more people came to love him as I got to know him. So I don't really consider and try to become friends with people that are politicians I interview, because I try to stay objective. But Neil became a friend, and Neil was he was, you know, as Jews like to say and as Germans like to say, he was a mensch. He was really good. So I think that we all miss Neil.
No, true. I mean, it's yeah, we went through a lot. We did a few international trips together as well, and yeah, it's the memories. It's yeah. We see it every day on Facebook, you know, the old memories and the way he was with my children. Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Yeah, so we have him on our fridge.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, so we have him. He's with us in the USA.
And the thing is that I had the privilege of interviewing him several times, and so that's on the channel, and people can go back and see the spirit of Neil De Beer. Yep. Anyway,
I've never met anybody that can speak out of the heart and head without a paper in front of him and knowledge. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, no, truly amazing. You know, and he was honest about it. The first time I interviewed Neil, I said, you know, Afrikaners think you're a traitor, a verraaier, because you spied for MK, and then the ANC thinks you're a verraaier because you turned on the ANC. I said, you just like to make friends everywhere, don't you? And he just laughed at me. And he made it up front. He said, yeah, that's who I am. That's what I did. But this is what has to happen now for South Africa. And so you got to respect that, whether you like the guy or not. Anyway, but hopefully he's resting in peace. Guys, I want to thank you so much for sharing that moment with me, and also for your time. We didn't see all the kids. We got 2 of the 3 that are there, so maybe next time we'll see the 3rd one. But I want to wish you the very best in San Diego. If you are struggling with something, do not hesitate to reach out to me, okay? If I have the ability to help you in some way, I'll do that, okay?
Thanks, Chris. Appreciate it.
All right. I'll let you guys drop off your iPhone there. They got an iPhone, not a Samsung, so we had to figure out how to get the picture straight. So, but I'll just put you in the waiting room. I'll let you figure it out from there, and then I'll wrap up. Okay, here we go.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Bye-bye, guys.
Be blessed. Bye-bye.
All right, folks, that was the Smith family out there in San Diego in Southern California. They seem to be doing well. Let's, you know, I guess the one lesson learned here is that people just assume they must be rich because they traveled the world, they've been all over. But people can destroy people's lives and their wealth and their fortunes. So we don't know the circumstances there, and I don't really want to probe in that. That's not my business. But the point is that don't make assumptions about people that you don't know about. It's never a safe bet. All right, folks, with that, I'm going to wrap it up here. That's it for today. I did have a prepared video earlier talking about the State of the Nation address yesterday from Cyril Ramaphosa, in which he announced that the South African National Defense Force would be deployed in support of the police in the Western Cape and in Gauteng. I'd ask you to go watch that video. YouTube is not telling anyone about it, so I'd appreciate your support on that. Please go watch that right now under videos. And thank you all for being here. There's Erica, a previous guest on the program. Thank you for being there. And I really appreciate everybody tuning in today. Be sure to hit that like button. Again, it costs nothing but a moment of your time. Hit that like button. All you have to do is reach down there and just push it.
That was easy.
Yeah, then suddenly we got another like. Do appreciate it. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. And that's going to be it for this one. I'll catch you all if something breaks today, or I'll catch you tomorrow morning with the next interview, which will be with Bruce the Service Dog and the Oosthuizen family. We'll be talking to them tomorrow morning early, East Coast time, 8 o'clock. That would make it 3 p.m. South African time. Hopefully you all can tune in. Bruce has become famous now, and we'll have a good time with that. All right, cheers, everybody. God bless.